mowing, okay, you wanna go out and hire a company, if you wanna have the DPW, I don't care how you guys do it, you had about 85,000, and it came up to say, well, that's not gonna be enough for this, it's not gonna be enough for that. So is there a maintenance plan for 787 as far as man hours and costs? So that we
Once
can-
the project gets close enough to being turned over to us, we'll get a maintenance schedule from DOT. But right now, we don't
So there's
currently
no
have.
estimate, there's no, in your mind, to have any sort of.
I can only go on what I've been telling you, so that the information I got from Saratoga. And they're about a quarter of the size of what we've got. They have a 6-man crew. And it's hit usually once a week.
Do they have a crew dedicated to that, or is it just 6 men in general?
It's 6 men in general, that's their priority. And then they go around and do other things after that.
Because they got Union Avenue, which has the.
Right.
They got everything.
That's the crew that does all that beautification work.
Flowers and
Yep.
mulching.
Yep. So basically, I would say we would need the same.
Dedicated, so when you say if they're gonna be dedicated, that means they're not gonna get on the back of a garbage truck or
No,
anything else?
no, they'd
Their
be
job is
strictly
only
maintenance.
Maintenance, 787, the parks.
Yep,
And how many guys do you have now?
3.
And then we just put 3 in, we're looking to hire 3 more?
There's 3 full-timers in the budget, for the general fund and 1 in the sewer fund, I believe, so there's 4 new full-time laborers.
Those are
Not
DPW
regular
staff.
workers.
Okay, there's 3 rec staff at the present time.
Full-time?
If you wanna call it, really, they just knocked me down to 19 hours.
That's what I mean.
So they're annual, meaning year-round, part-time. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's what I would say.
There's 3.
Currently 3.
Now there's 3.
Right. So now
There's
there's
1 just
3.
left today.
Right.
So any additional manpower, would those also be, according to civil service, part-time workers?
I believe so.
And again, unless it's a seasonal job, then they can.
Like I was
work
saying
4 hours.
before, during the months from May through September, so Memorial Day to Labor Day, they can work 40.
Right.
Let me ask you this, if you received $85,000 in additional funds, how would you, in your opinion, how would you disperse that as far as hiring? Would it be part-time, would it be,
On top of what Mike just said?
yeah, this is additional, that's already there, the 3
I would do part-time hires.
for rec?
Because not only are you talking your summertime maintenance, you're going to be faced with winter maintenance on the boulevard as well, which is gonna chew up a lot of people.
Somebody walking behind a snowball.
It'd be walking behind a snowblower in some spots, it'd be driving a machine in some spots, you know, until we get the maintenance schedule. I couldn't really tell you exactly what the game plan would be, but that would be my initial thought. And now also keep in mind, every time DOT does a bridge project, that maintenance item becomes ours now as well. So Waterford washed our hands of the bridge, we have full maintenance from end to end.
Sidewalks.
Yep. DOT will do the road work,
Yeah.
but we own the sidewalks now.
When did that happen?
As soon as they turn the bridge over to us.
And then we'll be responsible for those lights as well.
Correct.
Don't worry, man, I'm gonna try to toll bridge.
We'll need an extra employee on each end for the
No, it's gonna be like,
collection.
it's gonna be a counter system. We'll send you as well.
So, I asked Mike, I don't know if he does that here, but
That was just the one that we
Um,
originally had.
you saw, everybody saw the email that, Mike, to get under 1, that we needed.
Big under 1, not to 0.
Be under 1.
Yeah.
We needed like 30.
Not to 0.
No, I know.
Oh, I read somewhere you said that we're $30,000 away from 0.
Oh, I thought I just said close to 0 or under 1.
It's under 1.
So the other 30, because we were planning on the director of operations at 50, we could just not fund that position?
Not my fault.
I'd like to say something. The budget, the board, this this is still a board manager's budget. I don't know what else to call this, somebody has another term. Board of Managers budget raised taxes 1.72%. The Board of Managers budget did not, unless I'm missing something, address the maintenance needs of the city. The Board of Managers budget had positions in here that all the department heads that sat here said were unnecessary. The Audit and Finance Committee presented two proposals. One proposal got shot down. The second proposal, which I thought was better than the first, not only saw a 0% tax increase for the taxpayers, so that's the people, that's what I like to call the people's business. Provided equipment for the fire department, equipment for the parks. Additional, the 85,000 that I was talking about, additional for Public Works to do the additional maintenance, additional money for the 150th celebration. I thought it was damn good for the people and for the city. Whatever the problems were with that proposal, I'm still not exactly sure of why there's this, well, we gotta raise tax, but it was not very clear to me as to why. So if that can be explained to me as to why the proposal put forward isn't any good.
Mike, keep us at our current rates and bonds. Simple,
AA2 or BAA, whatever it's called.
that's based off of the money we have in the bank.
Correct, fund balance.
And if we deplete that fund balance, in your
Well,
opinion,
a negative effect on our bond rate, I definitely will. That was proven years ago when we were junk bond status, when we had no money.
over the next 6 months, we're looking at probably over $500,000 in workers' comp claims.
I just got another one today for 40-some odd thousand, that, you know, not
We
mentioning-
know
Right.
there's
There's-
things,
there's-
we know there's things
there's
coming,
plenty of
we
them.
just don't know what.
Right, not till they're final, they have a hearing, not till the doctors agree, not till everything, so I just got one today for 44,000 bucks, I think it was.
So we pay these out of the fund balance,
And then-
drops it, and then it messes
That's-
up.
that's
No,
money-
no, it's
that's
budget.
money
No,
this year.
That's budget.
No, it's not budget, it will be budgeted, you're over budget right now,
Your budget for this year.
you're over budget this year,
Because of
yes.
a
And there will be a
particular-
budget transfer coming in November, like I told you, for whatever we're over budget plus what we discussed at the last meeting.
But next
So-
year, there's 470,000.
Right, that's probably not gonna be enough either. So, I mean, you know, the problem is you can budget the crap out of workers' comp and never hit it, or you will hit it, and it's gonna, you know, anything you raise in the expenditure column will have a negative impact.
How do we compare, and you may not know this, and I expect you to know, if you do, that's great. Are we, I mean, how do we compare as far as cities with the amount of the workforce our size and what we spend on workers' comp? Do we have any idea, are we?
I don't know all the other cities if they're self-insured, see, we're self-insured. I don't know if Glens Falls and Loversville.
We got about, what, 120 employees, give or take,
A little bit more.
a little bit more?
Yeah, on 134 full-timers and about 29.
And we're at about 500,000, well, more, but generally about 500,000 in workman's comp a year.
Oh, we're gonna be more this year.
More.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably closer to $700,000-800,000 this year when all's said and done.
So it would appear to me that, well, some will be here next year, the administration and the council, maybe some type of analysis needs to be done as far as, is it because of the lack of supervision, lack of proper training, people doing too much or doing things that they shouldn't be doing? You know, maybe this has gotta be looked
Well,
into.
like I said to you last meeting, the only thing that can change has gotta be changed on the state level. Until the state assembly and the state senate redoes the workers' comp legislation and stop awarding these gigantic, enormous, outrageous decisions, we're left holding the bag.
But just as far as people getting hurt, why are people getting hurt? It seems that a lot of people are getting
Yeah,
hurt.
I can't answer that
Well, that's
question.
what the
Yeah.
department heads and the
Right.
administration has to
And
answer.
and, you know, like I said, you know, the state is the one that effectively gives this dollar amount out. And then you have to pay them till they're age 70 in certain cases if they're in the fire department. Police department doesn't have that in 207C. And then they get hundreds of thousands of dollars in checks. And then, once they get their check a month later, they come back to work. That's what happens, and do the same job that they effectively got hurt on. So,
How expensive is it to be fully insured for workers?
at this stage, it'd probably be well over $1 million. We did look into it a couple of years ago, and the reason why is that we have these indemnity claims that we're paying people that haven't worked here in probably 30, 35 years. They get weekly checks from our insurance company, indemnity claims they're called. So that goes on until they're age 70.
Is that just firefighters or?
No, it's all
Is
different.
others?
Oh, yeah, all different. Nobody's exempt from workers' comp. So, no, there's quite a bit. It's not, I don't wanna say it's just firefighters.
No, I thought you.
There's people that you guys probably don't even know
207As.
their names. That haven't worked here in probably 35, 40 years, that are still collecting, until they die in some cases.
Mhm.
And then in some cases, when they die, their spouse gets the money.
Is that the same for the 207A?
207A is the fire department only, and once granted 207A, and once they're retired, they get a portion of their pay from the state, and another portion comes from the city.
Forever?
Till they're age 70.
Oh, till 7.
Yeah, and then when the fire department gets raises, they get raises. If the retirement gets adjusted, and their portion from the city gets adjusted. So we have an actuarially claim on that, and it's in our long-term debt fund. I think it's under its own category, workers' comp claims or disability claims, something
Yeah,
like that.
well, the workers' comp is certainly an issue.
Yep,
But
more so than ever.
more so than ever, which is even more the reason why, again, to look at how are we providing services? How do we provide services differently to protect taxpayers? This is just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. It appears to me. So, 10 years and we paid $1 million in workman's comp.
I think we paid over $2 million in 3 years.
Yeah, about that.
I really believe that,
Yeah, it was over 2 million, I did the math.
in 3 years, in
Yeah.
all funds,
Yeah.
water, sewer, and, general. And that's direct dollars. I mean, yeah, I could raise this budget to workers' comp to $1 million next year, then we have to find an offset of income if we wanted to. We're trying to start out at a level where we can, number one, afford it, and number two, have a decent, budget. But it's always, it's never, I can't say it's gonna be enough.
So you came back at, the
Well,
segment
when I
was
made the changes that we
1.3.
discussed at the table last week, it went down to 1.34%. The ads and the deletes and stuff like that, and those are the changes I made last week.
$30,000 to get it closer to 1 would be the director of operations. And I'm not saying the job is needed or not needed, we've experienced with both ways, but if the future mayor wants to come to the council at that point and say, this is the reason why. I mean, we've asked him to come twice. And nothing, so I don't know.
They can put the money in. If they wanna put it in, let them put it in next year. I mean, it's positionally there. If it's so desperately needed, then the council can do a budget transfer and fill the line. Pay somebody $100,000 if you want, it's up to that. It's up to you guys next year. We're tasked with a budget, for now.
Yep.
For right here and now. With the people that are, I mean, if the argument is workman's comp, I think, Don, that was what. that's the
Well, just knowing that we were gonna be paying out more, if your AA rating gets affected, you ultimately pay more in interest, so you're not saving anything.
Well, the three things that I feel are an immediate 12-month problem for expenditures are: number one, workers' comp; number two, salary increases for all union contracts; and number three, severance pay, which we have a lot of employees that can go next year, and I'm talking closer to 20. A lot in the fire, a lot in the police. I've already received 3 that are gonna go in January, supposedly, but they can wait up until the day before to change their mind. So the severance pays, you know, let's just take a clerical worker.
And what we did, now correct me if I'm wrong, what we did, I think it was our first year, there was $400,000 in a retirement.
That wasn't for that.
That wasn't for that.
That was for when the bills went up in 2004, when they went up like astronomically.
Gotcha.
We set up a retirement reserve in case it did it again. And that's the 400 we transferred to CED back in 2016.
So it's not
So
seven, no, it's not for seven.
It's not severance, it's for if the expenditures and the rates go up. But, the severance pays, like for a clerical worker, in here for 20 some odd years, can be anywhere between 15 to 25,000, DPW a little bit more. Fire and police, you know, they could, depending how long they've been here, could be approaching 6 figures. And that's real. I mean, I can't help it that their contract says that, and that's what they get, so. It's real.
Oh, I don't doubt the realness of the issue.
So those are the 12-month problems that I feel where we need to hang on to our fund balance.
I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you to use the fund balance. What I'm saying is that the issues that you present are real, yes, they are real. Then, in my view, what should be done is that the budget should be gone through. And if people have to sit around here for hours and hours in order to days to figure out how to provide services to people and protecting the taxpayers, then that's what that's our job. But it seems to me that I don't think that was done. I think people just, or whoever just sells, they can do what they want to do, that's it, and off we go.
I think probably Mike, paid pretty close attention when the budget was being
Oh, yeah.
presented.
And every year I ask the same questions. One of them is, do you want me to budget for severance pay?
No, Michael did his job, no, I'm not saying Michael.
Yeah, and the
did his
answer
job.
is no.
He did his job,
We'll
absolutely.
deal with it when it happens. But that's why we have a fund balance, because if somebody, like, if I got 3 already retiring in January of 2020, and, you know, that 75 grand is not budgeted, and then guess what? The person who's in charge of the city may elect not to fill that position until the severance pay is paid out. So that's a possibility too, and that's happened numerous times over the last 3 or 4 years as well. So then you're short manpower.
Right, in other words, it takes 3/4 of the salary for the year.
Right.
3/4 of the year, you won't have that.
When that severance is paid out, then we'll fill the position, and that's been said to me numerous times, and Kenny can attest to that, in the DPW range, and then police and fire, we're short right now 1 fireman. Guess what, we're still paying severance pay on the one that retired, and that ends soon. So we were supposed to hire 2 in August, we only hired 1.
And that was because the one, was that a sudden decision that you made to retire, or they wanted?
They come in, like I said, I got a retirement last week, didn't know this person was retiring. So, I mean, people make up their minds all the time, and they can change it right until the day before they retire, and that's happened numerous times as well.
Well, Don, to your argument, that's all the more reason then to cut full-time positions where we can cut, like this, like the services, and like the director of operations, because now you're just putting in 2 more full-time people.
Well, it's catch-22. Do you not put the positions in? But then how do you give the services? Because we're saying, everyone is in agreement. We need these people in order to maintain what we've just
So,
inherited.
so you're saying that in the last 3 years, we haven't provided recreational services?
No,
under the
that's
current-
not what I'm
Well,
saying.
you said, because they said, if you didn't put the positions in, how are we gonna provide the services? Well, I think the services.
Maintenance of 787 is going under rec, correct?
Correct.
So,
But there is no rec, well, first, there is no rec. There's a human services department which has nothing to do with parks maintenance under our charter. Okay? That's under your auspices, the whole thing. So there is no real rec department. There is none. There's a human services department that's in charge of recreational programming for youth and for seniors.
I know, I'm pretty sure Danny was up at Memorial Park today, making sure that things were getting.
and sure, listen,
I'm
sure.
just telling you how it's set up in the charter. Whatever they,
If you read the charter, the labor part
Yeah.
is done by Ken.
Parks maintenance, that's what I'm
Right, but that position oversees what's supposed to be done and the scheduling.
Not according to the charter.
Well, if you read the charter, you'll see that.
I've read it, and it doesn't say that.
It does.
Well,
The only thing that it says is that the labor portion, the physical part of labor is Kenny's.
That's maintenance. Is that
But
maintenance?
it's not done with DPW employees, it's done with guys that are hired for that
But
position.
But they're not-
regardless, it's getting done without,
But they're Kenny's
and a
employees.
part-time.
What's getting done?
You just said Danny was up to Veterans Park today.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's doing
Yeah,
it,
if
but
you
not
look
for
at it over the last
$55,000.
What's going on that park over the last 3 years?
What services does the director of operations provide? I don't know. It's just somebody that sits in the
What I
office.
think is kind of interesting is when you were in, this budget was, what I think designed to give Keeler a starting base. And when you seem to be in the mix of
No, I was
that
never-
planning,
no, I was
you didn't seem to object to it.
No, I was never
But
in
now,
that mix, Chris.
now you're objecting to it,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
understand.
What mix was I in? No, you made a comment, now what mix was I in?
You were
I came
expecting
to
a
you
job,
about-
you were
I came-
expecting a job.
I came to you about a job for a planner, which was
Yeah,
there.
and then there were,
that
and
actually had
then,
qualifications.
and
for
then,
it,
and
but I
then,
saw
and
you
then you,
had
then you
qualifications.
talked about the human resources.
I never
guy.
talked about it with you.
No, you didn't talk about it with me.
So whatever conversations that came, you know the conversations that I had with you?
I'm just saying, I'm just curious why before you were fine with it and now you're not, that's all. Okay, well, they've changed them.
Well, I guess, to answer your question about why that $122,000 in the tax increase is important, to me, what I just stated is why we need $122,000 more as a small tax increase, because it's gonna happen. And rather than robbing Peter to pay Paul and not fill these positions, I think that 122 can go a long way to maybe covering 3 or 4 severance pays and stuff like that, and maybe an additional workers' comp claim that I don't even know how that's gonna be settled. Or how, I don't know, I've seen people with their wrists, they cook, and then 2 weeks later, they're getting $50,000. So it's real, so that's basically, if that's, an explanation as to why there's a tax increase, that's my explanation to you.
Like, I'm not arguing.
No, I know, I'm not, I'm
More
just-
money is needed, yes, more money, of course, more money is needed. I guess my argument is that more money is needed, you have positions here are not needed, you have other things that we're trying to put in. All right, then maybe the compromise is saying, okay, we'll take the audit and finance committee proposal as is, and if you guys need another $120,000 for workman's comp, or whatever it is, add it in, and you can go back. Right? If that's what everybody's saying that is needed. The 120,000, that's what, 1 point, what's that percentage of increase?
You're probably talking, if you, additional article, probably
Well,
3.4.
Oh, you're
I
talking
heard-
about additional?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that, if you wanna do another, if you wanna increase the expenditures of workers' comp by $125,000.
No, I'm not saying that, no, what I'm saying is, so the audit finance proposal, we had the positions out, we had money for rec, or whatever you wanna call it. What I'm saying is, if you're saying that, no, we desperately needed another $120,000 or $30,000 in revenue to cover
Potential.
potential
Right.
claims and against the.
And I'm not saying taking any of these positions.
I know you're not saying, that's what we're saying.
Right.
Okay, and maybe the compromise is to say, okay, we'll take the finance committee proposal, which I think is damn good. And then, okay, if you feel that you have to add in the revenue.
Take it from the 2 positions.
Well, no, we're already eliminating those positions. This is the pro thing. You can just add in the revenue as the tax increase.
Tax increase is already there. I guess I'm confused.
No,
The tax
it's already
increase
there.
is $122,000 right now. And then I made all the changes that were discussed last week, not eliminating the jobs that you're talking about, cutting the director of operations salary to 50. Okay,
I'm just
so,
going by the proposal.
so you're saying cut more like the full-time
He's saying go
position?
back to his 0 proposal,
Go back
and
to
the
the
120 is the tax increase.
Correct.
That's what it is right now, but not a 0. It's at
No, that he's
1.7.
saying that, go back to his 0
The
proposal.
zero
Right.
proposal,
And
and then add in your
Yeah.
additional revenue as the tax increase, whatever you feel that you desperately need, $120,000, depending on how much you wanna raise taxes. If you want, and then do it that way, maybe that's the compromise.
Maybe the compromise is leaving budget was and allow the incoming mayor to do what he needs to do and have those jobs there in case he feels that he can use them.
Well, that's not a compromise. That's not a compromise.
Well, you know, and you guys came here first, you wanted a $60,000 something to answer our phone calls, seriously? Politics,
Well,
politics.
what's the difference between that and director of operations for $70,000?
Politics.
It is all politics. We're all politicians. We're all politicians. I hate to burst everybody's bubble. This is politics.
When we were here last week, nobody could answer the question of why you needed a director of operations. So what's changed in the last week? Has anybody looked it up?
Because that's somebody's job. Jason, what are we living in a fantasy world? These are people's jobs that have been promised. One job's already been promised to a guy who has no experience. A job that I got him and I negotiated for him.
Yeah.
With Bill. He never thanked me. That's fine. He can have his job. I don't care. I'm not getting a job. I'll have a different job. I'll go back to where I was and watch over everybody, over the city.
What about the vote that you guys were waiting for from the fire to split the?
That's unheard of work.
Never heard of that.
Turnout here is not in this budget right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris, I should have a job. You're goddamn right. I should have a job. But I'm not gonna have a job. Because I got the guy elected. You think he knew anything about fucking politics? He didn't know a goddamn thing. I did all the work. I don't care what he says. He's a liar. If he says anything else, he's a liar. I ran a campaign. And if you have a problem with it, I don't know, was the parent, you had a big problem with it when I told you that 3 months ago? What do you care about it? I got Sean out of here. I did the work. You did it. You sat on your ass for how many years? It did nothing. And you sat all throughout the election. Kira was just dying to have your endorsement. Didn't that mean anything? You didn't even do that. No, this is the topic, Bill.
I'm pretty sure it's not, but anyway.
Well, there ain't gonna be no budget. There's not gonna be a budget.
Well, it's
And
pretty simple,
it's not gonna be my
Randy. All
fault.
you need is 4 votes.
Well, we don't have four, you don't have 4 votes, do you?
You may have 4 votes, I don't know.
Well, you have
But
one guy.
not for where you're going.
Well, you had one guy said he didn't vote under advice of council. Does that change? Or is the advice of council?
He has a vote, if he wants to use it, he can.
Yeah, I think he said if the adults couldn't get along, he would vote.
Yeah. Yeah, the adults.
But, I mean, I've heard from a couple department heads that this job is not needed.
I've heard from nobody.
Ken said it.
I've heard from nobody. You gotta remember, the board of managers works for the mayor. You understand that? The 3 people that are on the board of managers are employees of the mayor. If the mayor wants these positions in the budget, who are we to say no? We're all appointed by the mayor.
That's a good word.
Well, it might be a joke, I agree with you, but, I mean, it needs to be probably re-looked at and repurposed, but that's what we work for. Now, if I sit down in July, that's when I started this, with the mayor at the time, this is what was there. Now, that mayor anytime somebody died or somebody left, he cut everything in half. But it was okay to pay Mike Jacobson $135,000, and as soon as he died, cut it to 60. I mean, so why was that okay? That wasn't okay. When Robin left, cut that salary to 40. I mean, I've done this budget 18 times since July. So, I mean, I'm all over the board here. So if the mayor wants these positions, it's my job to make sure they're in there.
Oh, absolutely. That's nobody
Can
challenging you.
can I just ask a question? Ralph Sig was the last director of operations we
Correct.
had in the city, right? And he vacated that position how many years ago?
Last week, not even a year
Not even a year?
yet, last December.
Okay, I thought it was longer than that.
And we all sat it down, and I remember the conversation, and Sean said, this is absolutely a patron's position, and deal with it.
Has anything suffered since he left?
I don't know. Has it?
No.
Well, that's just a matter of opinion.
I mean-
Every other day, somebody's in here complaining about something.
Well, I mean, Kenny's been here for 35+ years. Like, we never had,
You could talk to 25 different people, they'll give you 25 different answers.
I don't know, I mean,
all the experienced men in our department would say that the last thing we need is another person against.
Another layer that's telling you to go
I mean,
here and
it's
then pull me
crazy.
there and then pull me
Alright, you
there.
want director of operation, you cut the mayor's salary down to 30,000.
No, we don't want the director of operations.
Let's do that, let's do that. You need a director of operations to run the city, and you don't certainly need to pay a mayor $70,000 to sit in the chair and drink coffee.
We're not asking for a director, we're asking for no director of operations. I don't know what you're arguing. I mean,
You desperately need to provide the services to the city, fine, I'll go the whole route on it, and you cut the mayor's salary, then we'll have a part-time mayor, and we'll have a professional, you can put out a nationwide call for a city manager / director of operations and run the city. How's that? Let's do it that way. I'm just saying, Jason, that's what they're adamant that, like.
who's still at it? I don't know.
Well, exactly.
They can't answer a question.
I said, did you just hear what I said? If the mayor wants the position in there, my job is to keep it in there. I work for the mayor, so do you guys. You may not think you do because you're president of the union, but you work for the mayor, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the way it goes.
And I understand your position right now.
It's pretty clear.
If the mayor comes to us in February, says, I need director of operations, this is what I need to do. Here's the salary I want.
Did we have
The one that wasn't budgeted.
It requires a budget transfer.
So we're just.
Over $5,000, it requires a budget transfer.
You guys decision next year?
So my proposal is leave the mayor's salary as is, we don't touch it. Forget that 8,000.
Why didn't touch it?
Oh, that you did.
No.
Okay, cause I knew that, it was thrown out.
That was not handled, but
Eliminate the director of operations. Put in the 30,000 for potential turnouts for the fire department. Everything else stays the same.
So right now,
And that's aged at the 30,000 that you want, we're about 1%.
so you're proposing to decrease take out this to 0 and then put 38,000 in for turnout here? Right?
Yeah, or 32, whatever that was on the last one. And now, and they.
It was
the
the one that Randy talked about at the meeting.
Well, don't forget, you're putting 200,000, you got 200,000 that was originally for CBD. And I think that was decided, now I had that for turnout here for other things, I had it allocated.
That's a wash. So, I mean, it's gonna be a revenue and expense, so it doesn't really, to me, whatever you guys decide doesn't
Well, it's
matter.
not a wash, it doesn't expect.
If you don't use it,
What does it mean?
right, but I mean, as far as a budget standpoint, I'm budgeting
Right.
$200,000
Doesn't matter.
for assignment of fund balance and $200,000 to the expenditure that you're assigning it to.
I'm just saying, it doesn't get spent, that's why you didn't have it.
Correct.
Correct. It's a lot of money.
I mean, once it gets assigned, you probably should use it to what it's assigned for.
If you guys don't want to sign it, fine, just. maybe
The
that's-
proposed budget has 200,000 assigned to CED.
So that's, okay, so maybe.
But I thought we were gonna put that under.
Well, that's what it's on, this is what, everything's gonna take the council approval.
Yeah.
Right, I thought that's what
But
was
the
recommended.
thing is now, if you don't want to sign it, maybe the answer is don't assign it, and that's that.
Well, that's the other option, don't assign anything and just come to the council for everything you need.
But it's an extra 200,000, all that won't necessarily be spent, maybe, but it's not received.
If you just have it where we'll take all proposals to the council, just pitch our whatever we wanna do to the council. I'm not budgeting an expense, I'm not budgeting a revenue, so that won't be
So
assigned.
maybe that
Money
money,
is just there in the pot.
Right, money's just
and
sitting
maybe
there.
that's that money, if you're worried about the claims, that money's put back, set aside.
You can assign it to workers' comp like that if you want it
And
to.
that takes care of the tax man. But then you don't need the money for that, if you take the 200,000 from the CD and put it into,
But we're paying for a parking lot, right, on Main Street?
The money you have assigned to the 50 Main Street's nowhere near enough. You're gonna have, you own it, we're taking bids right now to demolish it with a 6-figure asbestos estimate, and there's not enough money to do that, so the council's gonna have to use more money because we own it, and that's before you even build the parking lot. So, that 200,000 or 180 that you gave them assigned last year is nowhere near enough, you're probably talking closer to 3.
So Dan, you're remove the director of operations and the human service director.
Well, the human service,
No, we're not.
that's just a title,
No,
but
we-
the reality is that money needs to be there for the employees to be able to maintain the property that we're about to take over from DOT. And we're, you know, on top of the people that are already budgeted, we've all said, Kenny has said it, we're gonna need more people in that, so
Yeah, this budget.
we need to be able to hire employees, however you wanna categorize them, whatever title you wanna give them, that really doesn't matter. The money still needs to stay there in that line item, because we are gonna definitely need to hire more than the four, we're gonna need to hire part-time people. So you can hire them as candy stragglers for all I
I
care.
gave you
But-
85,000 for employees, this does not maintain culture, it just doesn't. I gave you 85,000 here to do that, to hire Kenny said he needs to hire part-time, annual part-time workers, I think he said, for 85,000, how many did you hire then? 3, please? Okay. So that brings you up to 6 annual, part-time, and then not counting the seasonal Swifties or whatever you want to call it.
Right, and we're also gonna have, that 85,000 has gotta cover the entire year, which is what Kenny said. So we gotta worry about snow, and stuff like that. So the 85,000, the reality is, it's not gonna be enough.
Well, no, but I got you 85 here, you had nothing, so. I don't know what you're.
Well, last week
Right, but-
you eliminated full-time parks in your proposal. Last week you just moved Danny up to that title, then is what I was under.
Correct.
So there's no more, 55's not in there anymore now, after last week.
But now, the day we get to the 85, it was 85.
85 was put in, yes.
Yes.
But the 55 is gone.
Correct.
That salary's been eliminated right now, tentatively.
And Danny, it's presuming it's Mr. Heiko next year, he would just continue to make as director what he makes now, which is about 25 and change. Director of Human Services, and Human Services will, that does or it doesn't do, but in my mind, that's what it does. And you have a public works department, that's gonna be able to have more staff for additional maintenance. Not only that, you have something I've seen building over there, now Square. You got a new park we might have on the island, on the river, that may come online in the next, we get the grant. Lot. You know, it's a lot.
This is why we're arguing less management for.
Or people on the ground.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pay, I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna pay somebody sitting in office, political job, $70,000 to stare at a computer screen, when I can give $85,000 to hire
Bodies on the ground.
bodies that are gonna cut grass, weed whack, dog poopy bags, and whatever else, and to maintain a beautiful new boulevard that's being put in. And I think it is beautiful. I think it's basically a park. It's like a linear park.
Rolling park.
It is, that they've been doing in Boston and all those big cities. I think we're, you know, people are bitching, but they bitch about everything, but it's a beautiful thing. And if we don't take care of it, it's not gonna be a beautiful thing, it's gonna be an embarrassment for people coming into our city every day and seeing 5-foot-high weeds and seeing junk and garbage. This is not, Don, I'm sorry, this does not address that. Doesn't address the main needs of our city and raises taxes. I don't understand. Now, Mr. McCarthy got that left, I don't know why. This is what he wants.